Each of these climbing fails have one thing in common. My center of gravity isn't in the right position. Moving your center of gravity can help you reach the faraway holds. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. First, let's get started with what your center of gravity is so you know what you need to move. In most cases, your center of gravity is where your waist is. So if it's over to the left, then your center of gravity is probably over the left. But generally, you can see this a lot easier if you put a chalk bag on your waist and then you can see where it hangs, and that shows you where your body position is in comparison to the gravity of that chalk bag, and that's typically your center of gravity. Now that we know where your center of gravity is, let's talk about when you need to move it. Your center of gravity needs to move almost every single time you're moving, whether that's moving it up, to the side, up diagonally. Your center of gravity is where your body is at. Whenever you move, you're moving your body. As climbs get more difficult, you'll find that it's usually more difficult to reach holds, and these situations are usually resolved by moving your center of gravity closer to those holds. So now that you know where your center of gravity is, when you need to move it, let's talk about how you move your center of gravity. If you're standing on the ground and wanted to get something a couple feet away, you move your center of gravity quite naturally by walking. Eventually, moving your center of gravity will become natural like walking, but it will take some practice. For now, try these 2 steps. Step 1, move your feet. Step 2, move your hips. By moving your feet, you're able to create a foundation for your hips to move, and like I mentioned earlier, your center of gravity is often where your hips are. The official name for this technique is called a rockover, and that is when you move your feet and then you rock your hips over your feet. For this climb, the move from the right side to the left side was significantly easier when I popped my hip over. Sometimes I exaggerate this movement when I'm really trying to figure out a move, but the more you do a route, it will seem more natural. But as you can see here, I did move my hip over my left foot, and that's when I was able to reach the next hold. Moving your center of gravity can be a great help when it comes to making those more difficult moves. And if you want to learn more skills like this, I actually set up a playlist of other videos I made relating to techniques and how-tos that can really help you make those difficult moves. You're going to want to know these skills and techniques. So click the playlist right here.